What's up, YouTube? Thanks for tuning in. Yes, that is a sleeping person right behind me. I just thought it would be important to give some context as to what you're about to watch, because that will change how you perceive the video. This was filmed right when the Cairo Museum was closing, the very last month of it, and moving all their inventory to the Grand Egyptian Museum, which is probably open now. So what you're gonna see is the very last of the Cairo Museum. A lot of the objects were already shipped and out. So I took what I considered the highlights, the best of what was there, and this is pretty much the last look you'll get to see at the Museum of Cairo. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to give a like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Now let's get to it.
No touching. Please, don't touch. So close. Because your hard finger might destroy the delicate granite.
It's acid.
Okay.
Okay, so what you really
The name. Then this box will belong to that name in the open sheet.
he's done in-depth investigation and evidence,
which is, as I believe, it's not the same. It's not the same because there is one name for birth and one name for the throne.
Okay.
So the name for birth is called the Merneptah, the master of rising. The name of throne called the Merneptah, the master of the two lands, Upper and Lower Egypt. So I just want you to look at this name, Meri Amun
And you can only
Ba
do it vertically.
Fa'in Newt. This name belongs to that king from the 22nd dynasty. And remember it because I will show it to you on another artifact to tell you that artifacts that is dated according to the inscriptions, and as you can see this is beautiful inscriptions, but it cannot be a conclusive evidence because we saw the one in the Sarcophagus, for those who have been to the Sarcophagus, and we saw how crude the inscriptions is, but sometimes the inscriptions can be added real good. Still, we are positive that it was added later. I will show you a few examples. One of the examples is actually not far from here. The one of the pyramids that looks primitive from mud brick. It has the name of Merneptah. This dates it to the Middle Kingdom. The material is granodiorite. The interesting part about the hieroglyphs on it, that it matches the cardinal directions of how this been, so they were aware of the alignment. Like this is east. See, the eyes is looking at the disk of the sun.
Now,
this is not.
Cobras coming out of the forehead, pineal gland, FYI. Kundalini.
You can look also, and maybe some of you know that they extract the bone out of granite. You know this? Look closely and you will see that this piece of granite has actually high amount of gold in it.
There.
wow.
Bunch of gold.
So these are chosen stones.
Of course, electrum, highly conductive.
Of course. And the cyanide. Very like highly resonating stones as well.
And they also put this electrum supposedly on the obelisks, top of the obelisk, same
Exactly.
thing.
The obelisk is nothing but another shape of the building.
All across the top.
Yeah.
And this is granite?
Yes.
And does granite typically have gold inside of it?
Yes, but different amounts. This one, it looks like it's a very high amount. I looked and I thought perhaps it had the electrum, and when they ripped it off, some pieces remained, but it looks more like that this is actually part of the stone itself. Here, everywhere.
It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? You can see, huh? There is lots of gold on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we can talk a bit about usurping, because you look at this statue, you read the name, you date it and relate it. No, not everybody. There is all the school that used another method called iconography. Iconography is following the techniques and style and results of the school of art from each era. So many things, many of these statues, especially this amazing one over here. Let's go take a look at it, because I'm a stone carver. And every time I look at the knee of this statue, I feel that I will never reach this level in my life.
Not with that attitude.
Not I don't have to tell you that this type of black granite is one of the hardest stones I've ever worked with. Just look at the anatomy of this knee. Look at the anatomy of the muscles. This piece is coming from tennis, where we was shattered and they found the parts of it. Just this tag over here is actually over 100 years old. This tag. So the tag itself became antique. Look at the tag. The beard is fake. It's fake.
Yeah,
It's not a real beard.
I know.
You
But
can
why
see the
did
line.
they do it?
What? There had to be something symbolic. Maybe they didn't grow real beards. Or like, I have to show my beard because the people will respect me, and then when I go home I remove the beard and my wife will love me. Could be many things, but it's a human being. Even that he has a tail, is still a human being. You see the tail?
Yeah.
It's the tail of the bull. Anyways, two inscriptions were found on that statue. One that belongs to the mighty King Ramses II, and the other one belongs to the second mighty King Merneptah, the son and successor of King Ramses II. So the iconography of the piece, the anatomy and the style of art, dated back to the Middle Kingdom. They don't know who, but they saw the statues that has the inscriptions of Middle Kingdom is the same style of art. So they thought this is a Middle Kingdom statue that was usurped by King Ramses II, and then was usurped after that by Merneptah. So you can see these beautiful inscriptions here. These were added around 800 years later, at least, on the statue. If we are right, and the statue is, how many things I'm gonna hang on my face today? If you go to the back, you will see the other true ones that was added by King Merneptah. You see the back of the statue? On the back of the statue.
Skirt, yeah, the skirt.
Yet it doesn't work today, and the read the statue. And you will have overwhelming amount. This here here, this one we can see, it is handmade. There is no doubt that this is handmade. So you see how powerful they could create handmade thing. Upstairs, we will enter if there is still something left in it that they didn't move it over to the Grand Museum. We will see the room of the ostraka. Ostrakas is shattered pieces of limestone that they used to give it to people to practice on it, how they do drawings and carving. So beginners work, and some unfinished statues to show the progress of how would we do this by pounding step by step. It's a long work, but not everything that we cannot do, we think it's something that is aliens or something like that. Now there are things that is difficult to achieve, but it was done. Maybe the piece of stone itself was part of a megalithic structure, but the carving as a mummy, as you can see, as a coffin, this was a coffin for sure. Again, this is the same case. All these beautiful inscriptions belong to Ramses II, but this is not the statue of Ramses II.
So when do you predict that these were made, the statues?
If you look over here, homie is smoking a pipe, and a hand is coming out of that pipe. I don't know if you can see with the GoPro. There we go. So look at that pipe. I want it. Oh, he's making some sort of alchemical drink. What the hell? There. Probably synthesizing some like ancient Egyptian LSD. It's crazy. Wait, Yousef, got a question here. The $1 million question. What the hell is this guy smoking, and where do I get it?
This is priest Puff Puff Pass.
Ah.
Of course, this is a joke. My friend, this here is an offering being given by that Sish priest. You can see he's wearing the leopard skin over a linen dress, and he is holding a jar that looks like the key of life, and it's pouring streams, 3 streams of water, and he is holding this, the symbol of incense and fire.
What do you think he was making?
He was making a ritual to the god Ammon.
But the hand is coming out.
Irit,
The hand's
Neter Sinu, Kibhu, is water or cooling.
Oh, it looks like a beaker you'd make some sort of like, you know, chemistry substance out of.
It's, you see, there is lotus flower, but it's water. You see, there is water here. There is like a basin over this. All these zigzags, all this zigzag that you see here in that shape is also water. So fire and water.
So probably like mushroom tea.
Fireworker.
Duh. One track mind, dude.
But coming out of the pipe is a hand and it's holding something.
The fire.
Oh, that's fire. Okay, okay.
Oh, okay.
I see.
Flames.
All right.
I see.
All right. I didn't see that. at
Fire
first.
and water.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Now, where is the $1 million?
Once you get me that
How do
pipe,
you
you'll
make
get the
it?
money.
Easy peasy.
Get me that one.
Can you write this down? This is also a handmade piece. Amino piece and the
Still
top.
smoking.
Yeah.
The king and queen from the new kingdom time. Yeah,
Everyone.
He wasted himself.
Who was that?
Amenhotep III. This guy was like any treaty with other country or anything. If they want to like to remake it, they send them few beautiful women. He says, agreed. Agreed.
Very reasonable man.
Know your audience.
But still, she had higher power over him.
The hand, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
you can see that she has her hand around him. This is, of course, changed a bit when the connection with the Asian started, but then it returned back because we have it from the old kingdom time. Now the woman, she is the one who puts her arm around the man, and it at once in the new kingdom they became both seated like this as if they are equal, and then of course she took the power back.
So why does her headpiece have the snakes? Oh, they both have it. She has 3 and he has
Any
1.
look, any statue of a royal person will have the snake, but she will also have the vultures. Necht.
Something to do with the masculine and the feminine version of the snake.
Yeah, unification.
As above, so below.
The real archaeologists, the real academics, they said, we all know there are no accurate dates before 1500 BC. This is academic information. There is no accurate timelines before 1500 BC. It's all give or take, give or take. And sometimes it's 50 years, sometimes it's 1,000 years. Look at, like, nobody can make a statue that looks alive more than this statue.
His eyes.
The eyes are crazy. Look at that. Oh my god.
This statue scared the tomb raider, scared the excavators because they thought it was somebody who was alive. Like they had the torches and they just like, ah! Then they came out screaming and saying, Sheik el-Balad. Sheik el-Balad is a position like a mayor or some like little bit less than a mayor, okay? Like the elder of the village, okay? And they had that elder of the village that looked actually similar to this guy.
Oh wow.
And he was just, like he just died before they find this tomb. And when they, like we found the statue and then they did like this and they saw him and they came out screaming saying, Sheik el-Balad is alive.
Oh my god.
And until today, the statue of Kaaba is known as Sheik el-Balad.
That's
From
hilarious.
that story. So,
That's so funny.
yep. Statue of Sheik el-Balad. What? Sheik el-Balad, what is this? You would think maybe it's an ancient Egyptian title. Has nothing to do with Arabic word. So he cannot be Sheik el-Balad for sure. But because the story, it's amazing. And then he changed his name to Akhenaten, the follower or the shadow of Aton.
And Aten is the sun and Amun is the moon, right?
Huh?
Aten is sun and
Aton
Amun.
and Amun are two different stages of the sun.
Oh.
I
Aton
thought-
is the western sun and Amun is the sun after it's hidden.
I thought Amun was
So
the moon.
Aton is where the word Adon came from. And Amun is where the word Amen came from.
The prayer.
So now it's all.
seen-
It's all really about Adon and Amen is all ancient Egyptian
So do you think
stages of the sun.
do you think Aten was he in the right by trying to distance himself from the priest, or do you think the priests were more just?
The priest was more just.
Okay.
If you go to the tombs in Amarna, it's everything about him, over and over and over. It's like he
Makes
didn't
sense.
honor the gods, he honored
Himself.
Yes, but it's like anybody who tries to, he know the game. None of these kings since the 5th dynasty, they were all originally priests. So the idea of a pharaoh priest started from the very long time. Any of these kings was once a priest. So he knows the game and he wanted to do this so he can have all the power to himself. And then a battle was there. And that's, I say they won because Tutankhamun converted again to Tutankhamun. That's what she Tutankhamun before the closing time. That's one thing, so that They moved that statue from here before. This is one of the colossal statues of King Tutankhamun. And we can see clearly that it's his face, of course, it's that famous face. It's carved from quartzite. And we can see here the evidence that it was usurped by Horbuheb, who added his name here, his crown name, of course, Jisr Khipr Ra, Seti bin Ra, the powerful justice of transformation, the chosen by Ra. You see clearly that this part was lowered and then the new name came over it. Can you see this? Clear? That's how in many cases the statues were used. Lots and lots of beautiful things here. We will see it. We have actually a visit to Luxor Museum, I believe. If we do. If not, I will.
When he was 18 years old, 3,300 years ago. And as you see, it's one piece made of wood covered with leaves of gold. There is silver, precious stones, and semi-precious stones. One of the most beautiful scenes of the treasure of King Tutankhamun, considered the symbol of love in ancient Egypt, that scene. Here you see King Tutankhamun is sitting on the throne, and in front of him, his wife. His wife is wearing a dress made of silver. Note that she is touching his shoulder in one sign of affection, of love. And she is wearing one sandal and he is wearing the other sandal. That is the Egyptian word for live together. Couldn't be one away from the other. And he stepped all the enemies of Egypt under his feet. That is the mannequin of King Tutankhamun. His tailor was making his clothes by using this model. So King Tutankhamun was at this side. And this nice necklace is made, this nice scarab is made with silica glass. Silica glass. Okay, and here we see his sandals. He is stepping two enemies under his feet, one African and one Asian.
So I'm full circle here. I hope that doesn't.
Ostrich. At that time, ostriches were living in Egypt. The handle is made of ivory. And the god of mummification. That is why all the embalmers should wear the mask of Anubis. And note that the nails are made of silver. Look at this.
It's harder to quit. It's harder to break for sure.
You can't just file that down with a copper.
Look at this beautiful and how everything is inlaid in it. It's truly amazing art. Look how they inlaid the turquoise. This is natural turquoise, it's not colored over. This is actually inlaid. It's amazing. All this is the capability of the dynastic Egyptians.
So that is, we do know that's dynastic.
This says it was used for ointments, but probably wasn't. Probably some alchemic tool. It has the ankhs kind of there, but they're holding on to something.
Yes, we are, exactly.
The inscriptions that was added
Let's see what it says.
to Tutankhamun, some of it is showing some errors that really that looks like it was made fast and to finish something really fast because he died young, as we know from the official story. So lots of the artifacts, and there is actually evidence to this from the academic research that many of these pieces used to belong to other burials. Some of them were made for a queen actually, and then they took it and reused it and inscribed it to Tutankhamun. And the word Tutankhamun, as we can see it in the cartouche, the lower cartouche in that case, on the other side, because you read it from above to down, like this direction, you find the quail with two circles around it. This is what reads Tot, and it means figure. Ankh means life. Amun is the deity Amun. So the living figure of Amun.
So grave
Really
robbers running the family.
Quick question. I noticed on that one it has like ankhs at the bottom, right over here, but the ankhs have hands, like they're holding on to something. Does that mean anything?
This is a symbol of unification.
Okay.
Samatawi. And the ankhs are holding that scepter you're talking about. Ankh Sanwasif. Life and power.
Ah.
And this is called the Hefin, the one that has the edges. The Hefin is the tadpole. I will show you better examples.
Okay.
And it means the number 100,000.
Oh.
And this is about like the years. And you can see here papyrus and lotus, feminine and masculine, unification.
Wow.
It's a symbol called Samatawi.
Is it supposed to be like a dwarf?
Huh? A dwarf.
Is that guy supposed to be a dwarf?
It's a dwarf.
It is,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.